Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving long weekend and you ate your turkeys and your hams or whatever you cooked. I know we did. We had a great time. And now it's back to work. I hope we're a little bit busy over the weekend doing some business. We'll talk about that after our friend John gets on here. And as an introduction to John Armstrong, I've known John, when I was working in Calgary in the insurance business. We were working across the desk from each other at a company called Laurentian Insurance. And that was back in late 80s, early 90s, right?
Yeah,
and
early
so
90s, yeah.
John and I would carpool it back and forth and get lost on the way home from work and go have some libations somewhere. But I've stayed in touch. I've stayed in touch with John over the years, we both kind of ventured off and done our own things. And John is in the investment side, extended benefit side, and but anyway, he can tell you everything that he does. All I know is I trust the man, and to have him come together with an extended medical dental plan that I think that you guys should seriously take a look at. It's something Heather and I have been trying to get with carriers that we've gone through. But back in the day, we used to be able to offer our benefits to everybody. And now they're saying being an independent contractor, you're not an employee, hence we can't do it. And then the coverage has drastically changed. So John's got, I think, 4 different options in a benefits program from you guys, from the basic to the Cadillac, with different price points. He'll go through those and give you a closed notes version team about the coverages and the whys. And then if you're interested, then John, I'll email everybody out with a link to John's contact information, and you can subscribe under the C21 In-Town Realty Benefits Program that's exclusive for you guys. So I'm pretty excited about that. So John, my friend, nice to see you. He's working out of his basement today because his house got flooded. So if you see contractors going back and forth, you'll know why. But anyway, John, welcome to our Tuesday Zoom with the gang at hand here, and I'll let you have it. There you go.
Well, great. Thank you very much for the introduction, Michael. Yeah, we have known each other. I never thought I'd get to this age where I could say that I've known somebody for 30 years, but here we are. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I'll tell you a little bit more about myself. I'm kind of a jack of all trades. Longevity Life Consulting specializes in small business, independent contractors, and what's now called gig workers, which is kind of a hybrid between contractors and small business owners. What we've developed here is something exclusive to Century 21 and Michael's brokerage firm. We break down the coverages. It's basically prescription, extended healthcare coverages, dental, travel, vision. Those are kind of how we break down the coverages. And I'm not sure, can certainly send a copy of the Excel spreadsheet, Michael. I don't know if you sent it out or not, but happy to kind of do that. And as Michael said, it kind of progressively gets better coverage, obviously a little bit more premium as you go along, but the basic monthly cost is broken down between single, couple, so just you and your wife, or you and your husband, you and your partner, and then family coverage. So and then we break it down from age groups, so 18 to 44, 45 to 54, 55 to 59, 60 to 64, 65 to 69, and coverage ends at 70 on this program. So yeah, we actually have 5 different benefit programs, from the basic coverage all the way to the Cadillac. We also offer additional coverages, disability for independent owners. That's also a little bit difficult to get, because if you don't have a regular paycheck, we do it based on your last year's income. So T4 income, T5 income, T2 income. We have a disability program for that as well, along with life insurance, critical illness, all those different coverages. I don't know, did you want me, Michael, to go through the different price points, or or should we just send that out in a separate email and people can go through and they can look at what they want and then reach out to me if they have any questions?
I think you mentioned it. You mentioned like option A, B, C, D, E, and option A costs this, and option just do that. And then if they want more detailed, yes, we'll go at a deeper dive. But
Okay.
this is just to give everybody a sense of what's there for them, and
Okay.
then they'll initiate the contact.
Perfect. Okay, so I'll just go through the monthly rates. The basic coverage is for an individual between the ages of 18 and 44 is $100 a month. The next age category, 45 to 54, is $115 a month. 127 a month for the next age group, 134 for the 60 to 64, and 115 for the 65 to 69 age group. So that's your single coverage. Couples coverage, 18 to 44 is 180. 45 to 54 is 208. 55 to 59 is 229. 60 to 64 is 242. 65 to 69 is 207. So that's the couples coverage. Family coverage is up overall from the couple coverage. So 18 to 44 is 250 a month, 289 a month, 319 a month is the 54 to 59 category. 60 to 64 is 336 a month, and then 287 a month for the 65 to 69. Now that'll give you just an idea of what the basic amount or the chassis, if you want to call it, what that coverage is worth. You go up to the Cadillac coverage. I'll just go through these rates quickly. Sorry, I think it's important to kind of compare the chassis to the Cadillac. So the Cadillac is $139 a month for a single in that first age group, $161 for the next age group, $176 for the third age group, $186 for the fourth age group, $162.31 for the final 64 to 69 age group. I hope you guys are following along when I mentioned the different age categories. I'm sorry if I'm going too fast, but we'll make this available after the meeting for you guys as well. So again, it depends on what you want. So you can get the increased prescription drug amount. You can get the increased extended healthcare amount, which is your practitioners, your professional practitioners, your chiropractors, your massage therapists, your psychotherapists, all those different services. So you can kind of pick and choose what appeals to you mostly. And we have a program for that. The additional benefits that are exclusive to your brokerage firm, we offer a free financial plan. So what that entitles you to is 2 hours of free financial consultation. I provide you with a financial plan which is valued at probably over $1,500, depending on what advisor you go to. And there's a very big benefit to getting a financial plan, and it'll save you, depending on your situation, thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars for you on the go forward. We also have a will planning package, which again is valued at over $800 that we help our clients do a lot of the pre-work before they go to a lawyer. It saves them a lot of money. We have lawyers that we deal with in Vancouver that will help you put together the final touches after you do the pre-work. And we have videos on a quarterly basis with webinars and videos on a quarterly basis that touch nutrition and health from professionals in the industry, financial planning, estate planning, and wills and executor webinars as well, which the whole package together is of tremendous value to people that sign up. And it's unique for Mike's brokerage there. So I'm happy to go through.
John, sorry, and you will send everybody the rate sheet and the coverages after. It's just Rhiannon. It's a really big sheet, so it'll be a distraction to be him scrolling around just to kind of give you a flavor of what the coverages are for you.
Yeah, and yeah, sorry, I think it just kind of gives you an indication that there's a program for each one of you. And you know, we can do add-ons, like I say. There's also legal services. Again, I mentioned disability coverage, which is of utmost importance to real estate brokers. All of that stuff, you can contact me directly. Those are individual coverages or specific to, you know, it's not a group type thing. We tailor make that stuff for each individual. Yeah, so happy to go through this with anyone. Like Michael says, it's just a big spreadsheet, and I'm sure nobody wants to hear me babble on about little details here and there.
No, I think for everybody to look at this is, if you don't have an extended medical dental plan, then you should, because going through cleanings and all that shouldn't be a huge cost out of your pocket for where we live. So I think stuff like that is important, and then you can up your coverages for more prescription payments and massage payments and whatnot. And then, is there a life insurance program with this too, John?
Yeah, so on the fifth option, there is a nominal amount. So $10,000 for life insurance, $10,000 for AD&D, which is your accidental death and dismemberment. But what I would suggest for everyone is to get a bigger coverage limit, and that would be an individual application. Because you know, estate planning, when you pass away, unfortunately, there's death taxes. I mean, aside from the funeral itself, there's taxation involved, and you have to make sure that you have enough liquidity for your executor to handle that kind of stuff.
Does anybody have any questions for John? Armand?
Yes. Hi, John. My question is, if we already have an extended insurance, would it be possible to get another one? Would it be like on top of that?
So it depends on what you have, Aman. If so, you have a benefits program already in place, an individual one.
Yeah, through my wife, with Sun Life.
Yeah, I mean, that situation, it might not be beneficial. What would happen is this would become your primary program. So there'd be some offsets. They want to make sure that you're not double dipping, so to speak. So we can talk about that individually if you like. It'd be better for me to see the program that's in place with your wife, and then we can talk about the details of what may or may not be covered,
Okay.
or to the extent that you might think it would be.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else with a question? So I look like a little bit more meat maybe is could you go with like the basic coverage of what you get and your limits to the Cadillac coverage and what you get for the limits?
Yeah.
So you put the quote the dollars, it's just going from a basic one to the best one.
Yeah. So basically prescriptions, the delta or the difference between what you get on kind of the basic policy is, say, $500 a year. On the Cadillac, you can get up to $2,000 a year. And I do have another program, and I didn't mention it as the Cadillac because it has some higher limits in some spots and lower limits in other spots. But if prescription is a big priority for you, I have a program here that's $5,000 per year per family member, and so the difference is, again, from 500 to 2,000 to the really big one, which is 5,000. On the extended healthcare, which again is your chiros, your massage, those are the two biggest ones. Your physiotherapist, those are the two or three big ones. On the very basic plan, it's $400 a year, and you can get up to $400 a year. Pardon me. Let me go back here. It's $20 a visit, so not a very big limit there. You can get up to $1,500 per combined for all practitioners. So if you use and a lot of people do, if you just basically use massage therapists, you have that big upper limit of $1,500. Not, you know, and it's inclusive for that whole big group. And dental is kind of the third big coverage here. So on the very basic program, it covers 70% of your costs on the basic, so your preventative and restorative services. So your 9 month, you know, you're going in to get a cleaning, it'll cover 70%, up to $450 per year. So a cleaning might be right around that dollar value, depending on what rates are like usual and customary in BC. I'm not exactly sure, but in Alberta, it would essentially cover one cleaning per year, right about that. And then your Cadillac coverage would be 80% and up to $1,250 a year per member. So the difference is there, I think, $800 and a higher percentage. So you can get, you know, definitely a cleaning, definitely an X-ray, oral exams. You can get all that stuff with the higher limit, with the Cadillac limit.
Okay, and another question is, so I subscribe to your benefits program. Do I get a card? So when I go to my practitioner, I give them the card.
Yeah.
And do I have to pay up front for the coverage to get reimbursed, or how does that work?
No, they pay up to the limits, and then there may, depending on the coverage, there may be a deductible that you have to pay or a dispensary charge.
Right.
But what happens is I send out a link to everybody that's interested in signing up. So it's a link specific to your brokerage firm, and it's a 2-page application form. So it's not a very big deal. It takes about 5 minutes to complete, and then they'll send you an electronic membership card.
Okay.
And I'll get a time frame on that. I don't want to commit to anything, but it should be within the first 2 weeks. You'll get an electronic card once they process the application.
And how long does it take for the application to go through?
It would be, depending on, but about 48 hours.
Okay, so it's not slow at all.
Right. So there are coverages that have to be underwritten. So there might need a little bit more information, but on the very basic guaranteed coverage, should be about that time frame.
Okay. And I had a question. It was a real good one too, and I forgot it. Foster, what do you got so I can think of my question? You got anything?
A ton of stuff, but I can't actually ask anything without a chart in front of me to figure a bunch of stuff out, to be quite honest.
Can you, is it easy for you to share a screen and put a chart up so they can kind of see what you're talking about, or?
I'll send it out.
Send it out, yeah, when you're ready.
Yeah, because what I have is I have you on Zoom on my laptop, and I have it behind on my desktop, and I'm too old to know technology.
Not a problem, not a problem. Well, I saw it, guys, and it is, I mean, it's to put it up on your screen, I don't think it would do it justice, because it's quite in depth as you get to the higher coverages and the more services that you're looking for. So it takes you about 48 hours to get accepted, and then when would your benefits kick in? So I put my application in, I get accepted, but when does it activate?
When you get accepted.
Okay, that's really fast. Yeah, that's faster than my employee one, actually. Yeah, so if we don't have any more questions, John, that was perfect. Thank you. If you send me that detailed spreadsheet with each column with all the coverages per column,
yeah,
and then I'll put that out there to the group today with a recording of what we've done.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Michael. I really appreciate the opportunity, and happy to talk to any of you guys about anything in this kind of, you know, realm of financial fitness or benefits, anything like that. Happy to help, and good to see you guys all this morning.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. And yeah,
thank you, buddy.
Like I said, guys, I trust John, and we went over this in grave detail, Heather and I think this is a really good opportunity for all of you to have a serious look at. So on that note, buddy, I'll let you sign out, and I'll keep running with the show.
Thank you very much. Take care, everybody. Thanks, Michael.
Ciao. So, guys, we went to the conference a couple weeks back in beautiful Ottawa. Weather was fantastic. Conference was great. I have some talking points that I wanted to discuss, but I think one of the main ones is I hadn't gone to a conference in a few years, and for umpteen different reasons, but going to the conference was a real pleasure for me because I saw a bunch of old friends that I've known for a long time, and everybody gave me shit for not showing up for some other ones, and it felt good to be appreciated. It felt good to see your friends. It felt great to get some education and get some free nuggets that when you sit at a coffee table and you start talking to your counterparts, whether it's a broker or a manager or a fellow sales associate, it's a great sharing venue. And I think that's what I get out of it the most is they got great speakers and great breakout sessions, but it's when you know someone's doing something in their market that they're having a ton of success out of, and you're in a different non-competing market, they'll give you everything. They'll tell you exactly how they did it and stuff. And so, Foster, while I go dig in my notes, what are your highlights? Because you're drinking the Kool-Aid pretty hard. You're showing up. She had her trade show booth giving photographs out of everybody, and it's just a great network session. So tell us why you do it.
Yeah, so for me, since joining with C21 conference has been a really big part of what I do because my intention with it was to develop my agent-to-agent referral base. So I do about 30% of my business from agent-to-agent referrals on any given year, and trying to, with my business coach, reach probably more like 35 for next year. And because it's a lead pillar for me, it's worth every penny that I spend on it. Having a booth is a great way to meet people because really they just come to you as part of it. But the strategy around what I actually do at conference is pretty specific. I have this year it was 10 people, 10 specific referral partners that I needed to connect with in one way, shape, or form. So whether that was over a drink, over lunch. So I go to conference early to get some of that done with some of those individuals. And then the rest of the conference is kind of like gravy. But it's about developing those specific relationships that are essential. So, and those could have been people who referred directly to me or who told a colleague about me. So that's the real main crux of why I go, is to strengthen those relationships and to enhance all that. And I mean, conference is a great time. It's a lot of fun, lots of great people to meet. And it is less about, for me, the sessions, and it's more about the sharing of ideas in individual conversation that is far more beneficial.
Yeah, and I would totally agree with that. Is you go for what you need out of the conference, and if you want to go see all the speakers, they've got great speakers and stuff. But I pick my battles, but I usually like to get to the tables and talk to my counterparts the most. There's business there for. Did you get any business from it so far? What'd you get?
Yeah, I get business from it every year. So I've got 2 referrals coming in straight from conference. One for a pre-sale condo that's coming up in the next little bit here for assignment, I think in like about 2 weeks. And then I've got 2 other referrals. So there's 3 total, one for the sale of a house and one for a buyer.
And I put a referral together for a commercial purchase out of Marco through a phone call that happened to me, and I tapped Tassus on the shoulder, and it's all done. So it costs you a little bit of money to go, but I tell you guys, if you work the conference, and you don't have to have your own booth, but you're not there to be shy, and you want to go and have a laugh, have a cry, learn, educate, network. It's the place to go. And March, excuse me, March 2026 It's in our backyard. That is the 50th anniversary of the Century 21 system in Canada. And we're hosting it in Vancouver. It's going to be at the Bayshore, where I believe it's the Bayshore, where it was launched. So we got to figure out, you guys all have to figure out something that you want to do to promote yourselves, promote the city, promote your services, because everybody's coming to see you. The company will, if we want to put a social committee together, we can do that as well and plan something. And weather in March in Vancouver, it could be beautiful, it could be rainy, who knows? So plan for the weather. But I guess some of the stuff that they were really teaching on that I kind of focus on was, how are your fellow realtors in different markets promoting themselves and their services? And we're not doing it too differently here, but the message I'm getting, that I'm hearing is, understand when you're doing your social media, especially when you're doing your videos, of who you're talking to. And you've got to engage the viewer. You've got to ask them questions. You got to put your little questionnaire posting on your social media posts. Whether, do you like this? Do you like the blue? Do you like the red? Tick a box type of thing. And less of this, but more of this. Walk behind your phone. Talk about your listing. Talk about your open house. Talk about your backyard and what you like about it, and try to get them to engage back. So if I see James there. So James is at his new listing that he's got on Homer Street, whatever it is. He can start displaying the view in the living room and stuff, and even say, hey, this is a great place in Yaletown, walking distance to everybody. Give me a call, send me a direct message, and I'll tell you all about it and where it is. I mean, little stuff like that that's going to make people come back to you, type of thing. Rhiannon, what else did you get from your social media stuff?
I didn't sit in on any of the social media stuff
Okay.
at conference. I was more involved in some of the other stuff. So yeah.
Okay. And so I'm just reading, I'm reading my notes. You have to build trust. Remember who you're talking to. Talk to, if it's a specific type of listing, talk to that demographic of the viewer, because not every property is for everybody. So, and 3 ideas for postings is, you got to show that you're having fun. You got to, show that where you travel, they say, and then you talk to them about the market, you educate them on the market, because that way you're attracting different listeners and you're not saying the same stuff over and over and over. Post, why use a lawyer instead of a notary? Got to make it authentic, and it's going to suck for a while, but it'll get better and better over time. Just skimming through my other notes. There's different ways of geo farming. If you're marketing neighborhoods and door knocking and putting on events, own your building, own the park. We talked about, there's a new software for you guys called Active Pipe. It's in conjunction with your Moxie CRM. I'm testing it right now. It has more features than the Moxie Engage. But Moxie Engage is still really, really good. But Active Pipe has an AI feature to it where you send out an email or to your buyers and they click a couple of things on the email, then it knows what's the next email in sequence to go. So you're going to have 70 different types of email blasts going out, but in different orders depending on the engagement that you're getting. And you can and you get notified when the viewer is clicking, and you can do your analytics with your whole reach of your marketing efforts, just to see who are the ones that are focusing on the listings that you're sending out. And you can send out listings of any listing that we have that's on the website. You can post that in there as well. I think that's good. That's a paid feature though, to go to the active pipe, and I think it's nothing, it's $35 a month or something, but you get 2 months free, so you can get in it and start trying and taking a look at it. Let's see what else I got. I write notes in different ways. There's a book recommended, read Atomic Habits, if anybody hasn't done that. Help me, Rhiannon. Help me here. Add something there.
Yeah, so I went to a couple of the different sessions. I sat in on Cameron's session. And his was talking more about I guess financial planning through the acquisition of real estate. Very specifically, he's got a course that's I think he was giving away a couple of deals actually over the last little bit, and he's got a book that he just released. So his stuff is actually quite good. Cameron's
Yeah,
actually
I saw him. I'm halfway through his book actually.
yeah, so he's the owner broker over at
Chilliwack
Chilliwack,
Atmosphere.
Creekside. Yeah.
Yeah.
So his stuff was good. Obviously the session with Priya, because it was all stats and it was all very interesting stuff about what's coming up and what the forecast looks like for the rest of, well, into 2025. That stuff was great. I mean, if we could get them to come and speak to us, that would be.
I've reached out to him. Yeah, and I'm looking for what Rhiannon's talking about is Korea's economist came and spoke at the event, and that was the best speaker of the event as far as I'm concerned. A lot of economists really talk over your head and dazzle you with numbers and stats and stuff. And what was his first name again? Do you remember? I have it written down. Sean Gregish. He spoke in a way that the whole room understood him, and he was very observant of the interest rates and what's going to happen in the politics and stuff like that. But what he's telling us is get ready. We're going to start picking up with speed. I think we're going to have a busy fall, busy winter, and it's really going to launch in 2025 at the beginning. So don't plan your holidays quite yet, but what I would start doing is I would start promoting your services and reminding everybody that you know that you're in the business. And some of you think that everybody knows that you're in the business, but I promise you, if you called 100 of your friends and reminded them, you're going to find something. You're going to find something there. Let's see, I had some more. And the other thing that they talked about, they did a great Easter Seals presentation, and you all know that in our agreement, there's an opportunity to contribute X number of dollars per commission check that you get to Easter Seals. And I think we've got realtors from $25 to $500 in this office that donate to Easter Seals, and you get your tax deduction there. He emphasized that there's big votes coming on in a bunch of provinces and a big federal one coming up. So do your homework and figure out who has your best interests for you, and you vote for your party. I'm not going to tell you who to vote. I think if anybody watches my social media, they'll hear my opinion, and it's just my opinion, right? But I think if you don't vote, you get what you get, and you can't complain. So please do that.
If you wanted to talk about Easter Seals in a little bit more in depth, you could talk about the Golden Heart Award.
Golden Heart Award is anybody that raises $2,100 or more every calendar year gets the Golden Heart. And it's not that hard to do. So, and you can raise the money any way that you want, whether you do a bake sale, whether you ask your sphere of influence to fund you and your efforts. You can rappel off a building in downtown Vancouver, and I've done that 3 times until my wife told me I wasn't allowed to do it anymore. But anyway, that gets the blood going. I know Chantel's done it a few times. And so what are the other, and at these conferences, there's people walking around with tins for money and stuff, and we probably always generate about 20 grand just in loose change for the conference that people are collecting on behalf of Easter Seals. And our money from this brokerage goes to Camp Squamish and it goes to help maintain the facility and bring a couple family members up every year. And we are going to plan on doing a trip up there in the spring of next year. I've got that organized as well. And that kind of sees where your money's going, and it shows you what the kids that have been dealt with a physical challenge, what they have to go through, physical, mental challenge. And it really is, it's heaven on earth for these kids. It's putting them with their friends, making new friends, and it's a good feel. And then what else? Anybody have any comments about the upcoming provincial election? Has everybody registered to vote? Anybody not voting? I'd be interested to hear that opinion.
The first day in the morning.
Pardon me?
The first day in the morning, advance voting. I did
Yeah.
it.
Good man. Good.
Good.
Yeah. Let's hope we get some positivity coming back into this market, because I think it's coming, right? I mean, the confidence has to get back into the market that your buyers and sellers trust what this province is doing, and we got to get our taxes down. We're being taxed to death as it pertains to real estate, right? We had that thing with Ken Pasner on about all the taxes, and and that list just mind boggles me of what's in front of people, and I think there's going to be some changes coming up there. But all in all, I'll put my notes together as well for you guys for the social media thing, for how you promote. But promote your services, promote somebody else. Say thank you to the lawyer that you do business with. Say thank you to the restaurant that you like going and eating at, and do a really good review for them and let them know, because if you post it on your sites, they will come and read it. They will recommend people to read what you're saying. And it isn't all about you, right? It's about your neighborhood, your community, from the people that do a great job maintaining David Lamb Park to the guys that are cleaning the streets and stuff like that. So promote something that people would appreciate your opinion on, type of thing. And I really like what Armand does on his screen on his Zoom, where he has his information of what he does, because you guys are doing Zoom meetings, and I think that's a good one. I know Littman comes in with his exercise shirt on with his selfie, but hey man, you got to promote yourselves, right? You guys, you got to promote. When you go to the gym, you bring your water bottle or whatever it is, or you're walking with your C21 hat on, but don't be invisible. And there's that's the other thing from the conference. There's some really good swag that's coming out, great clothing, great coats and stuff. So it's nice stuff to wear that you can wear during your business hours or wear during your exercise hours. Any questions regarding anybody get any good business over the weekend? What was it like? Anybody do any opens? No opens. Seema, you didn't do an open. I thought you were.
I had one.
Okay, and how was it?
That was kind of quiet because it was long weekend. I had two group of people. That was a small condo in Kings Bay. That was good for investment, kind of opportunity. The price was so good, almost 500,000.
Right.
And yeah, but I had a chance to get connected to lots of neighbors, to other people on the street. I stayed at the door and I made lots of connection. I got actually four kind of, I met 4 different people, 4 group of people. They were not interested on that property, but I just got information and they're kind of coming to the market soon. They're looking for different thing, townhouse.
That's all it takes, right? Your job is to sell what you represent, but also help them buy what it is that they're looking for. Anybody else do an open that they want to talk about? Littman?
What?
Did you do one?
Of course I did.
Okay. And
it was quiet. I have a little new listing in Gastown, which I absolutely adore. And what I did have is I had a 3 groups come through, which is fine, and I quite enjoy showing it. And I did have someone actually that lives in the building, they sent their family member to take a look at it, someone that I had met the week before. So, you know, that's encouraging. But what was neat was I got a call from a realtor, I think he's with Real Broker, I can't remember, and he asked if he could showcase that listing and put it on social media. And I said, absolutely. So he met me there and he took a little video and he posted it and as my listing and him looking for buyers. So that was very cool.
Nice. Good idea for everybody, for all you guys, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
if you're going to promote somebody else's listing, please ask them for permission, right? It goes a long way. And James, how did you get that listing?
Through a client.
Referral.
Yeah.
Okay. And go on.
So anyway, and also his reel, I just posted it and it's had a lot of attention. It's been great. So I'm glad he did that. I was very grateful.
There's realtors out there right now that are making most of their income from promoting other people's listings. Right? I mean, if you don't have a listing, you got to promote the inventory. So start looking at what other realtors are doing on their social media and, you know, take some ideas. I mean, just don't directly copy them in their same backyard. That would kind of suck, I would think. But I mean, I was talking to Walton that he was talking about there's a realtor in the Lower Mainland, or is he Calgary? I forget. But that's all he does is promotes other people's listings and then refers the buyers off to other realtors. So it's a unique way of looking at the business, but it's still building relationships and building trust over the content that you produce. So if you wanna be the expert at the 501 Pacific, the only building's name I know in Vancouver, then own it. You know, market the hell out of it. Talk about who built it, when it was built, how many units, the amenities, concierge's name, whatever. But be the person that you're the go-to when people want to know if that's a good building to buy or not, or what's coming up. Does anybody have any new listings or sales they want to talk about this morning?
I had an accepted offer on Thursday, so it's gonna be firm because we bought it from the developer. It's gonna be firm this Thursday.
Good.
It was built. It was brand new, ready to move in. We like work with the developer and the client to work it out. Because the client is selling in Kelowna, and the developer considered the option rent to own. So the client can move in, pay rent to the developer until that property is sold, and she can pay it. So she becomes the owner. So that was very good, and I negotiated, got like 60K discount from the developer. So the budget was within her budget, my client's budget.
So you're doing a lot of pre-sales. Are the developers starting to sharpen their pencils to put deals together? Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
now I never seen like this much incentives for the realtors and the clients. It's the best. I've seen the markets that kind of you're begging the developer to give them like a 1 bedroom option. They give you a couple of options and you gotta choose them. You gotta pay like 10,000 bank draft to just go and see. Compared to this market now, you can really choose out of all the inventories, get the incentives, and yeah, from the developers right now, it's the best time.
Okay, so yeah, just know that, guys, that's your job, is to represent the buyers for these pre-sales, and if you can negotiate something, price reduction, maybe free storage, maybe, you know, different countertops or cabinetry, this is the time to do it. But also be really careful on the product that you are going into a transaction with. The market's still a little crazy, And some of the smaller developers, you got to be careful for, are they well heeled enough to ride another storm if it happens? So just don't put your buyers in harm's way. I've seen a couple collapse deals this year so far, but nothing to worry about out of this brokerage. I'm really surprised that for this number of pre-sales that we've done, that we didn't have any more non-completes based on interest rates going up and this and that. So that's a positive for us. And I got a feeling that there's going to be some more holes going to be dug in our backyard over the next couple of years because of the changes that are coming. Anybody else have a deal that they want to talk about before we run? It's all about prospecting, gang. You got to get your name out there. You got to phone everybody that you know. Please phone your past customers, and if they're a couple, make sure that you talk to both sides. Don't always just have that one conversation with the husband or the wife or the partner or whatever. You got to include them both in there because you want to make sure that you're the only realtor that they are talking to. That's it for me today. Thursday is this Thursday in the office. Angel, what time is that starting? Earth Angel, I think it's 4 o'clock. We'll put the posting out there.
Yeah, it's 4 o'clock.
Is it 4? Thanks. Yeah, fall theme. So please attend. And if you have a realtor friend that you want to bring. Just let me know prior to you coming that you're bringing somebody sooner than later, because I need to adjust the food and the libations to accommodate everybody. Anybody have any questions for me before I sign off? No, I can see red, just the very top of her head. She's just shaking it. Okay, guys, thanks for your time. I will put together the package from John Armstrong in the benefits program for you guys to have a look at. Ask any questions regarding that. Ask John. That's his. It's above my pay grade, but I know the coverages that he's offering, the different levels, and I think that there's something there for everybody, but you should have something to protect you. That's all I got. You guys have a good week and a good short week, and we'll talk to you soon. Ciao.